Hello, everyone, and welcome to NFT Malam. We are in our 22nd week. My name is Kafi D'Ambrosi, and I'm here with my amazing co host, Ruler in Peace. Welcome, Ruler in Peace.
What up, Coffee? What up, everyone out there listening?
Hello, everyone. We are having an amazing Malam 22 today. Today we have Key Run, NFT creator, artist, and curator. We have Day Q, architect, digital architect, media media host extraordinaire,
Yeah.
platform creator, tech guru, one of my favorite, two of my favorite people in the Web3 space. Currently, I've known Key Run for almost a year. DayQ became my person immediately. And so we're very excited for them to drop some meta, some alpha today. We are beginning with Key Run. So let's welcome him right now.
All right, come on.
Welcome, Kiran. Welcome to Malam, NFT Malam. We are so happy to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hi, Kafi. Hi, Ruler and Breeze. Thank you so much for having me on the show. It's a
Uh,
pleasure.
The floor is yours.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. Before I proceed, I would like to thank the founders of NFT Malam, my dear friend BK Han, who has been very kind to me, and several artists and collectors in this space, and Steve and other founders of NFT Malam. I'm really thankful for giving me the platform to be here and share a little bit about me, my journey, and talk about, more importantly, my profession, which is creative coder. So, on that note, let me start off, showing actually what exactly I do. The background, what you see, is one of my artwork. It's a spider web which I created using coding. So, coding for art is something which is very unique, and that's exactly my forte and artwork style. Um, to know a little bit about my personal background, I'm basically a CPA by academic, come from a fintech professional, come from a corporate background. It's been like 18 years that I've been into coding, and this is my 12th year that I've been composing digitized music. Uh, Way back in 2008 9, I used to compose music using Excel spreadsheets. I know we all use Microsoft Excel for our day-to-day office core jobs, but I was always fascinated with going a little bit behind the scenes, which is visual basic programming. And I started learning a little bit about how we can use the libraries and data sets in visual basic programming to compose music. That was more of hobby, but I quit the corporate background a few years ago and started teaching. I teach accounting and all related technologies like Python, Java, for automation for finance professionals. And over the years I've been always into animations, and like I said, music. So that brought me into NFT space last year, 2021. So the first few months, I was more focused on understanding how crypto functions, how Web3 actually works, and to get to know which marketplaces are there, and how to get your wallet, which is MetaMask, etc. So April to end of August 2021, I was focused on understanding all this. And September, I started off my journey with OpenSea as my first marketplace, and that's where the my artwork started coming in, and one after the other. Currently, I've been on 19 different marketplaces, including Maker's Place, Known Origin, uh, and so on and so forth, Foundation, Async Art. Almost you name it, you will find me, at least one artwork or collection that I would have minted, listed, and sold. So, in terms of focusing more on how I actually approach this coding for art, because that is something which can be a key takeaway from me as an artist. And I also will throw some light on if you are a newbie and you're interested to step into Web3, it's a fantastic place to be, but it also has its pros and cons, and which I will, throw some light in the next few minutes. So let me share, my screen where I'll be showing about the current process, which the project which I'm currently, running. This is a foundation marketplace, and you can see my collections out there. Since the beginning of 2022, I have my artworks listed on foundation, and this is my current project. So specifically, I'm talking about crypto patterns because this might be of interest to every artist out there in the Web 2 world or in the Web 3 world already like me. Crypto patterns is purely based on coding. Since the topic is about coding for art, now you can see that these are all animations which are there. Now, these are basically on two components. One, the dance of trigonometry. Now, all the movements that you can see, for example, if you look at any of these kind of artworks, all these are animations. So if I just click on one of these artwork, so these animations are based on trigonometry. The movement, what you see of all the geometrical shapes, that's the second one, which is geometry. So, as you know, in our schooling, we would have learned trigonometry and geometry. It might be one of the topic that we all try to ignore. In my case, I use that as my key profession because I come from a numbers background. I always loved numbers, and later on, it became automations and animations, which you can see here in this particular scene. So these are based on a particular geometric shape, maybe a square or ellipse or a rectangle. So I'll start coding these and start actually playing around with these artworks. That's how the
Kiran,
yeah. Please go.
Kiran, we'd like to be able to see your screen. We can't see your screen. Would you like to send me your website in the private chat so I can share your screen? I'm not seeing it as you're presenting it.
This is the current screen which I'm talking about, the foundation thing. Um, Kafi, if you
Uh,
can.
we can't. Hold on, let me see. If you can put it in the private chat, I will pull it up for you.
Just share.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Awesome. Thank you, Kafi, for that. So that's the collection, what you can see. And like I was explaining, each of these animations are based on Java. And, only if you are comfortable in understanding how Java works for, coding point of view from art. So there are set of, data sets or libraries. So it gets a little complicated and complex. But to make life easy, you have actually some geometrical shapes like squares, etc., and all that. You can scroll down, Kafi. You can see that. Yes. So these are all animations as Kafi can actually share with you. Thank you so much, Kafi, for sharing this. So the screen is all about filled with these colorful animations, and like I said, it's the dance of trigonometry and geometry. So all these are geometrical shapes, and it takes approximately 6 to sometimes 17, 18 days for me to finalize one artwork, because it will be like iterations. Each of these are rotations which I would have coded, tested, tried and tested again and again and again. So it's a constant process. And all my artworks, including this crypto patterns, which is an existing project, all are based on either Java or Python. And sometimes I also create machine learning models, which earlier I used to do with large amount of data sets in the corporate world. Here I'm doing with images. So as you can see, all these artworks are very, very colorful, bright. And once you go into the particular artwork, you zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, you can still see that it doesn't get blurred, because that's the way actually the coding works. The best part of coding for art, if someone is really interested, first thing, you need to know actually how to code. Second thing is, it's based on mathematics, like I said, trigonometry and geometry, and more importantly, precision. It doesn't miss anything, it doesn't miss a heartbeat. That's the best part of coding. So thank you so much, Kafi, for sharing this. I'll also talk about the different marketplaces that I've been, and let me share my website with Kafi so that she can share with all of you. Awesome. Thank you so much, Kafi. So this is, my website, where you can see all the, marketplaces that I've been part of. And these are all the artworks which I would have created, either using OpenAI, ever since OpenAI came in this year. So I have used a little bit of, Python machine learning models along with the existing OpenAI, for example, say DALL-E, DALL-E 2 or Midjourney, and I take the outputs, probably thousands and thousands of images, and then actually I use Canva and Photoshop to make it a mixed media. That's how my profession became, on one side, a creative coding artist where I use pure coding. On the other side, actually I also use multiple media tools. That's why actually a mixed media artist. So once you enter the website, you can see all the marketplaces that I've been part of. Kafi, if you can just yeah, thank you so much. So these are all the marketplaces that I've been part of. It's not yet completely updated because I'm there in another 8 or 9 extra marketplaces. And Makers Place, Known Origin Foundation, we just saw. So the point that I will try to focus here, like promised, few things which I want to share if you are a newbie into this, Web3 space, or you are exploring. First thing, please step into Web3. It's a wonderful space, and one thing which truly helped me in this space, including the founders, of NFT Malam, like BK and Kafi, who is hosting this, beautiful show. There are beautiful souls in this community, and one thing which you can easily embrace and take help. All that you need to do is just ask for help, and it might be a Twitter, it might be Instagram, it might be Clubhouse. Once you get used to the tools, including Discord, initially I had to go through a little bit of understanding of all these social media apps, but that's all we need. Ask for help, and you'll find thousands and thousands of artists, community leaders, collectors stepping in and trying to help you, a lending hand. So community is one thing that one should work upon, and it's relatively easier in Web3 space because it's a global community. Just like how I am speaking from India, and the hosts are like logging in from different parts of the world, from Singapore, etc. So the second thing is a clear-cut focus, and drawing a line between social media and the toxic elements that you'll always find on social media. There might be a sale or not sale happening, but you should just focus on your craft, your art, and what you can do actually to your work. So put yourself in the shoes of the other person, and see how you can actually do your bit rather than worrying too much about the sale. Sale will start happening only if you are people know that you exist, and that's exactly what happened with me. Initially there was obviously that lot of learning, there was a lot of struggle. No one will know that we are there in this artwork, irrespective of however great our artwork might be. Here and there you might find 1 or 2 sales, but the focus is to stick for long term. How can you actually put in something, an effort which you don't want to lose for your rest of your life? It's not about 1 sale, 2 sales, it's about something that you can build here. That's exactly what I could do here, and I could move completely full time into art and NFTs since the beginning of 2022. So if I can do it, I'm pretty sure that all the artists and collectors can actually explore Web3. Even if you are trying to do this as a side gig, I would definitely suggest that give a shot, get used to actually how the wavelengths work in this particular industry. It's definitely not an industry which can be easy to start with, but once you get a hang of what exactly what works, what doesn't, rest everything will be easy. Last but not the least, I also work on as a art curator with one of the premium marketplaces called Nifty Gateway. Let me just share the link. So this is the marketplace which is pretty commonly known outside the metaverse, outside the Web3 earlier. It was very popular in the Web2 space because it was always known for credit cards. But now they also have, that you can link up with your crypto wallets like MetaMask, and you can also buy artworks. So I work as an art curator on this premium marketplace, and I introduce and onboard artists across the globe. For instance, in the next couple of hours, I have 11 artists who are coming up in my next curated draw. So if you just scroll down, there is a schedule which will probably say that it's 11 a.m. your Singapore time. So the theme is purely art, art, and art. So every time I come out with on a weekly basis, different set of artists. So here I'm introducing 11 artists who are going to come up with their artworks in the next few hours, and these are open editions which will be there. So you can link it with your wallet and pick it up with your Ethereum, or you can link it up with your credit cards and buy these artworks. If artists are interested to be part of curated drops, please get in touch with me. Every Saturday I run a Twitter thread where artists are free to share their all their different styles of artwork, and then I run through a process of curation before deciding on which artists will be part of the next few drops. So it's on a continuous basis that I try to onboard artists. With Nifty Gateway, you have to go through generally through the curators. So it is very unique platform compared to the rest of the platforms that you might have experienced with. So once again, I would like to thank Kafi, Rule Praise, BK Han, and all the founders of NFT Malam for giving me this opportunity and time slot to be a speaker on this wonderful, wonderful show. It's been an honor to know you, BK, Kafi, and it's just wonderful to always be in conversation with you people. Like I suggested, anyone who is looking to step up into the Web3 space, feel free to get in touch with any one of us. I'm always happy to address if you have any kind of questions or queries. Reach me on my socials, especially Instagram, where my DMs are always open. So thank you so much once again, NFT Malam, and best wishes to everyone. Thank you.
Wow. Coffee, your mic is off. You're off. Mic.
That was fire, as we knew it would be, from Key Run. We knew it was going to be fire. He
It's
dropped
like Key
all
Run hit
the
a
nuggets.
home run.
Key
Key
Run
Run
hit
hit
a
a
home
home
run.
run.
So I think we need to get ready for day Q. We need to get ready for day Q because I think his people should be showing up, and we call them the icons. The icons are coming on board. I'm about to drop the link in the icon feed in Telegram to make sure everyone is watching and listening. I want to welcome, let me change out the item. Excuse me. Um let me do some housekeeping for a second. We are welcoming Key Run, my friend Devian, my new friend Devian. So excited to have him on board. It is very early in the morning for him. He's a dad, but he decided to come through for us, not fail, but come through and share his knowledge about community. He's going to share his knowledge about data. He's going to share his knowledge about architect, media, and more. I don't even know, but we're excited to have him. Welcome, Day Q, come through, sir.
Hello, hello. Good morning, guys.
Good
Good
morning.
morning to you,
Good
sir.
morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning. We're
Shout
sending you
out.
a we're sending you a virtual cup of coffee,
Oh, thank
whatever
you.
you drink in the morning. We are saluting you. It is very early in the West Coast, and we appreciate you for coming through.
I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you, Ruler in Peace, Cappy, Kavi. I appreciate you. I appreciate Key Run. He had a wonderful segment earlier. I loved what he was saying about onboarding global artists. That's what we need. We need artists of all different backgrounds in Web3 to have an equal shot at having their content not only on the blockchain but public for everyone to take participation in. I don't know if you guys are familiar with swap meets and different areas where you could find organic art from artists on the like street vendor artists
Of
and whatnot.
course.
I feel
Yes.
that Web3 could take them to a whole different level if they only knew about it.
Absolutely. I mean, guys,
Well,
swap meet. I haven't heard that term in a long time, but yeah, go on.
well, DayQ, we're going to get off the stage because we are ready. So feel free to take your time. We have all the time for you. I'm going to go share this link in your feed for your icons to join in. They can ask questions or have some comments for you. I'm going to be displaying the comments in the
Okay.
YouTube feed. And the stage is yours, sir. Thank you so much and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, hi guys, I'm DayQ. I'm one of the key contributors of Media Eye NFT portal, and I'm happy to be here. Shout out to the icons that are watching and anyone else that may be watching. So today I'm here to talk about community. I'm here to talk about what benefits users through our platform and how moving forward in the future, it'll revolutionize the way people do things. So I think the most important thing for Web3 right now is eliminating those layers of intimidation and eliminating those layers of friction that currently exists. Because right now, presently, there is way too much complicated and over technical standards that exist for Web3. So it's intimidating to new users. It's like how are we going to onboard people to Web3, but we're using, first off, terminology that they can't understand. We're using technology that they can't understand. We have to simplify this. And in order to simplify that, we have to have fully automated services. And if you want to build a community, your community has to be in tune with whatever you're doing. So that means even simplified communication with your community. You know, it's not easy. You're going to run into a lot of issues with people because coming from different places around the world. It's not going to be the most it's not going to be easy to eliminate language barriers, but one thing I love is the translators that exist, such as, you know, Google Translator. Someone could take your message that you sent them and translate it right away. And then we find out that we can resonate with each other in ways that we never thought, as far as sports, as far as food, as far as even religion, music. You know, it's a wonderful way to connect. And I think Web3 has brought a lot of us together for the first time beyond like sports, you know, and it's mostly regional on Web2 where you can find access to people. But at Web3, you could jump in a Telegram chat and meet somebody that, you know, is thousands of miles away from you. You know, so it's a wonderful place to really harbor, you know, these ideas together and help people grow, learn, and build. I think the most important thing that I've come across recently is helping people build an understanding for Web3. Not just giving them access to what we do, but giving them access to other platforms that can help them grow. There's a lot of rewards that go on in other NFT communities, and I love being able to share that with our community. The icons have really grown their following just by following along with what we do. We have our AMAs, and then once people join our AMAs, I don't just bring on, you know, anyone just to do it. As far as our key opinion leaders, so a lot of our KOLs have actually interacted with our community members and have actually rewarded them based on their participation. Because in order to have a solid community, you're going to need participation, you're going to need an understanding, and you're going to need to have effective communication. If you don't have effective communication with your community, it's going to fall apart. It's going to fall apart. You'll attract the wrong crowd. You'll set the wrong message, and it's all about keeping that tone for data because your data will translate with your content. So if we want to share about our platform, for example, our platform isn't currently live yet. We're still in the process of releasing our MVP, and once we do that, I'm pretty sure we'll see, you know, a new balance of new followers and new community members joining us. But when that happens, we can't just hammer down on the features. We have to hammer down on what benefits anyone that uses this platform, anyone that holds the token, anyone that's participating. How will it benefit them? Because one thing I've noticed is people don't care about the technology. They just care about how they can use it. We all do. When we buy our phones, when we buy our laptops, our tablets, we don't care about how the technology inside of the tablet works. You know, we're never going to say, oh, the processor does this. Some people will, but most of us, we just want to know, how do I turn it on? How do I get started? And how do I use this thing? If it makes my life simpler, I'm going to stick to it. And that's what we're here to do. You know, that's what I want to do. I want to make lives simpler by offering them services and easy to use, quick to use, fully automatic, you know, services that'll make their life much easier. What would take them months and weeks to do previously will now only take them minutes. And I think that's the most convenient thing to do moving forward in Web3. You know, so as far as data, you know, we don't want to abuse that, because I feel that in the past, a lot of our data has been abused. You see a lot of companies such as Facebook, Instagram, a lot of them are apologizing now for saying, hey, listen, we abused your data. We collected your content and we kept the profits from your content. All the followers that you had on our platform were not your followers. They were ours. You know, if you have a YouTube channel, like I do, we both do. I think we're going to be streaming this on YouTube as well. Those are not our subscribers. Those subscribers belong to YouTube. If the algorithm changes, if you go against certain policy standards or policy changes, guess what? You can lose all of those subscribers. You can lose all of those followers, or lose access to reaching those followers on their feed. So Web3 can change that. Web3 can really take you to a place where not only do you own your content, you don't lose access to the members because you have direct contact with them. You have an email list, if you want to, directly attributed to that to your community. So that's the most important thing I think that Web3 is moving forward, and that's what I'm an advocate for. I'm an advocate for voice, because I don't just believe in onboarding new users. I want to onboard globally, as well as Kieran said earlier. We need a diverse setting. This is the opportunity for people to be seen. And if you want to onboard people, you have to understand who you're onboarding. You can't just, hey guys, come join us, and expect people to run to you. No, talk to them, communicate with them. This is what you'll get from us. This is what value we bring you. This is how you will benefit overall as an artist, as a creator, as an entertainer. Those are the things that I think Web3 needs to focus on, is how are we sharpening our technology? How are we sharpening our message? And what are we actually delivering? You know, it's a balance of as I would say, spices. If you have salt and pepper, if you put too much salt, it's salty. But if you put too much pepper, it's peppery. You have to have a balance. And if you have a balance of technology, communication, reach, and expansion, guess what? You're gonna have a really delicious meal. You know, because spices are there to really, really boost the flavor. And I feel as if right now we're kind of on, some things are too salty in Web3, some things are too spicy, some things are too peppery, because there's no transition of translation. There's no communication bridge. It's just, oh, do this, buy this, steak. We're all gonna make it. WAGMI, mass adoption. We're using words that we should be using in the we should be using in our work, on our daily work boards. Save it for the board meeting. Don't put it in the public, because guess what? You're intimidating people when they don't understand something. People will scroll right past your info. You have to have a why, and I say quote unquote why, for anything you post, content wise. You know, I've been explaining this to my team recently. We can't just post a post, because guess what? You're not going to attract who you're trying to target. What behaviors are you trying to motivate within your community? You have to give them an incentive. Not only do you have to give them an incentive, you have to explain what that incentive does. For example, we saw a lot of drama recently with the crypto exchanges, with FTX, and you see a lot of not your keys, not your wallet, or not your tokens, not your if you don't have access, if you don't have custody of your assets alone on the blockchain, and you're depending on another platform, guess what? You're in danger, because if something happens to them, you lose access to that stuff. I think moving forward, even with our company, we need to give and grant our users, our holders, our community the choice. We need to give them a choice. If you hold this for a certain amount of time and we see that you're holding this on your own, then we will reward you. We need to move away from like locking things up away from people. I think that's the whole purpose of Web3, is to give people that freedom and motivate them to do their own security, motivate them to not depend on someone else, you know, have that freedom. And then also offer what you say you're offering. If you're offering a creative hub where you want to inspire and spark creativity, guess what? You need to provide that. If you don't provide that, guess what? People are going to come to you and say, this is too technical. This is not easy to use. This is not what you said it would be. How do I create? How do I move forward with these services? I need something different. And then you have to take that feedback. I think it's more important for us as leaders and team builders, or teammates, to listen to our community, because it's all, I think teams don't realize that leadership isn't power, it's influence. You know, and in order to establish that influence, You have to really connect with people. You have to get to know them. You have to have effective communication. You have to be humble. You have to value your community. You have to have ears open to even listen to them. You have to be competent. There's a whole list that requires, effective leadership and responsibility. And if you don't hold that to a standard, your community is going to see it, and the whole world is going to see it. And Kafi, me and you have had this conversation many times about the blockchain. Everything is available. All the information is there. You can't hide anything on the blockchain. People can see it. And I think that's when transparency is the glue to anything that Web3 protocols or startups are doing. We're a startup. We face struggles every day. We're eliminating a lot of factors that we realize aren't working. We have restructured and cleaned house a bit, but it's all for the grander good of the community, because the community is what matters. Without them, we have nothing. Without investors, you have nothing. They don't need us, we need them. We're just providing a service that we hope will benefit them in the near future. So when you recall a lot of the other NFT marketplaces, for example, such as OpenSea, Rarible, when they launched, a lot of people didn't understand, the behind the scenes ordeals, such as trading fees, I guess you would say gas prices. A lot of that stuff wasn't really explained. So a lot of people found out the hard way, and this is not to take a shot at anyone else or anything like that, because our marketplace is on our main focus. We will actually be providing 0% trading fees, because that's not our main thing. It's just a medium for people to use our services via our marketplace. We also have a charity place that will inspire community to give back. It's not just about earning. So say, for example, we have an NFT creator that creates a collection that does wonders. Say he wants to give back to one of the charities that's listed with our partner, the Giving Block. All of that recorded data will be on chain. All of that recorded data, people will be able to see, oh, wow, I donated this, and it's going straight to the person. And then once the person receives that donation, they'll be able to adjust and see if they received their full donation. I'm pretty sure there's gas fees and different things associated with transferring money into, whatever currency that the charity is going to, but that's still establishing a sense of trust. Use the blockchain for trust. Use the blockchain and services and technology, blockchain technology, to establish trust. We're doing what we say we're doing. And I think that's important. I think a lot of times people believe in ineffective tactics, such as, fluffing, padding, botting communities. That has to stop, because it's obvious. No one is going to be fooled by, bots. We can see it. We can see fake engagement. We can see fake reactions. We can see fake retweets. And there's technology that's being built every day to expose that, because those type of tactics are deceitful and unnecessary. You can build organically. You have to work on your messaging. You have to work on your content. You have to work on your why. Otherwise, you're posting just a post for your own ego and your own pride. And I think once you find that standard balance between your community, anyone new that you're speaking to, and you're a great communicator, you'll find success. But it's all about communicating. What do you do? Who are you? What's your background? How can you relate to the blockchain? For example, I'm a disabled man. I'm a disabled Black man. I'm paralyzed from the waist down. I was assaulted when I was 16 years old in front of my church, and as a result of that assault, it left me paralyzed. So I can relate to the blockchain in the simple manner that my wheelchair is the technology. Without that technology, I have no mobility, right? Without handicap accessibility, I have no access. Without ramps, elevators, and lifts, I have no independence. I would have to depend on someone to get me upstairs. I would have to depend on someone to get me through the door. The blockchain needs the same thing. They need the technology to be mobile, to be able to navigate. They need access to these services in order to grow and do whatever they need. And they need independence. And if you provide that on a single platform, you're going to change the game for not only community, for yourself, but for other collections that join in on that utilize the services of your platform. If they can use our airdropper to airdrop and whitelist or allow list their community, guess what? Much more convenient for them to save time, money, and the hassle of having to do any coding. They just type in the information and it's there. It's all translated on the blockchain. And I think if we keep an idea in mind, which that idea is user experience, we'll get a lot more results. I think user experience is the most beautiful thing you could think about as a company. You can't think backwards. You can't think about, oh, we're doing this and we're building this and yeah, people are going to love it. No, you have to survey. You have to ask people, what do you want? What are your ideal frustrations currently within Web3? What are you mad about? What do you want to see change in the space? We have to ask those questions. We have to put in work. You have to contribute. If you want social media to be popular, you have to socialize with other people. If you want people to understand your breakdown, it's your job to translate what you do to others, or else they're going to be guessing. They're going to be left blank and they're going to scroll because people don't have time to sit there and play guessing games. So I hope I'm making sense in regards to this, because I get so caught up in it. I've kind of developed my own language for it, but that's what I'm trying to work on as well, is how do I explain this to anyone, a stranger? If I can get my grandmother to understand this, I'm winning. If I can get my toddler to understand this, I'm winning. My toddler could open up my iPad and go straight to YouTube. He understands the icon, he understands the color, he knows how to pick what he wants to watch. So that means he knows technology to an extent. So it's my job to break down those barriers for Web3 for anyone to be able to do it in a similar fashion. Open it up, get straight to work. Here's what we offer. Here you go. Utilize it, and let's expand. Let's grow together. Let's merge communities. Let's have a understanding rather than a misunderstanding. Help people. Don't be afraid to break down tutorials for people. That's what we're here to do. We're not here to just, be rude and abrupt. This is hard for people to understand. We didn't understand certain things when I went to college. I had to learn a few things that I didn't understand before, and sometimes I would have to seek tutoring. If you look at tutorial and the word tutor, they're almost the same thing. We all need that extra help. We all need that education. We all need that balance. Without it, what are we going to do? We're going to be stuck, and that's what we want. That's what we do not want. None of us. And I appreciate platforms like Nft Malam, because you guys open up opportunities for everyone to share their ideals, for everyone to share their technology, their community, to expose this conversation and discussions to a whole new massive global approach. And I think that's what we need. We need more diversity. We need more, and when I mean diversity, I don't just mean by race. I mean by gender. We need whoever wants to be involved. They have to build that brand. And if you're branding something behind yourself, that brand needs to translate to people, or otherwise they won't understand what they're doing. There's not one way to do things. I feel as if a lot of Web3 communities are being ran from the top down in a maniacal fashion, and that needs to change to bottom up. Start from your community. Start from what people are looking for. Start from surveying those people, understanding what their needs are, what they want to see, and build upon that. Because if you don't know your target audience, if you don't know what niche is dependent on these things, you're building for yourself. Everything is for yourself. Anything that you post content related wise is for you. It's for you. And then when you don't get the feedback that you want or the results you want, your brain's gonna lead you to, oh crap, I'm too prideful to admit that didn't work, so I'm gonna bot it. No, 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 no. Don't bot it. Don't do that. Go back to the drawing board and start over. Have a why behind anything you do. Anything you state, there's a why behind it. You're gonna have ups and downs in your community. You're gonna have rifts. That's perfectly normal. That's what humans do. We communicate. Communication doesn't always have to be positive. You need negative in order to get that. You need a balance. Salt and pepper, and I feel as if the more we use those spices in the direct fashion, we'll learn. Okay, I put too much salt on that. Okay, I put too much cayenne pepper on that. I need to change the way I do this, otherwise it's not going to be a delicious meal. And I'm responsible, not anyone else, because I prepared the meal. Hey, BK Khan. I feel as if that's where we need to go as far as our mission in regards to our messaging, in regards to our communal unity, and I think people think that community is simply just followers. I think a lot of times people disregard the fact that community is investors, community is consumers, community is NFT enthusiasts, traders, creators. They all make your community. That's the strong point of community. It's having a broad collection of different cliques in different sectors and different sections of Web3 that build the overall community for everyone. So I hope I shared a lot of information with you guys. Is there anything that you would like to ask me, Coffee? Your mic is off.
Yep, always. We are just excited to have you here. I'm going to bring Key Run up. Key Run, are you available? Key Run. Fantastic.
Hello.
Well, gentlemen,
Hi,
Key Run,
Deku.
I wanted to introduce you to DayQ. DayQ, this is Key
Hello.
Run. I wanted
Hi,
to
hi.
connect communities as you suggested. Gentlemen, I didn't know if you had questions for each other, but this has been an amazing show. So happy to have you both here on the platform. I believe that your icons were in the building coming through. Metaverse generation wanted to say hello to all. Professor K is shouting you out. I
Hey there,
believe
fam.
my man looks dope. Thank you for coming through, Professor K. I'm glad you were in the building with us. And so, icons, media, excuse me, um, Media Eye NFT portal. We have the Nifty portal, curated. Maybe we can have a battle of the NFTs. I don't know. But
Let's do
definitely,
it.
you two need to come together, have a discussion. We are so excited. Do we need some music, Mr. Ruler and Peace? What are we going out on? What are we going out on? Could you
Yes,
could you gather us? What are we doing? We need some music
you need some
as
music.
we what are we hitting up? Are we going You got music for us? Or are we gonna hit coffee?
It's
I think
like you.
I'm just gonna hit my own music that
Go ahead,
River
go
in
ahead.
Peace.
That's right. But Kieran, before we do that though, I just want to say, Kieran, brother, but thank you. Your presentation just right on, spot on. Like really appreciate everything. Looking forward to get to knowing you better. Kieran, everything that you shared also earlier, I mean, you just blew me away. It's like I'll hit you in the DMs. It's like, but where your brain goes, brother man, how?
Now we're like, we're not even AI artists. We were just playing around.
I got this peace, love, and tranquility for all of you, bros. Okay.
We're going back. I'm going back into my photographer corner. I'm just gonna sit there. I'm gonna stay right there in my own lane. This is Coffee by Ruler and Peace. This has been NFT Malam 22. As I predicted, it's been fire. Thank you, DayQ. Thank you, Keyron. I want to thank my co-host, Ruler and Peace. This is his music, which is being launched, I believe, on the 19th. Is it being launched on the 19th? This is called Coffee. This is called Coffee, inspired by someone. I don't know who, but we are happy to be here with you in Web3, and we'll see you next week from Malam 23. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.